Had a few.
Okay, so we got 3 online right now and 1 more coming, hopefully. So here we are. Welcome. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. We're so excited you're here for summer. Today's going to be so nice. We're going to do some get to know you stuff. We're going to get some information about the program. So I bet you're nervous, probably. I'm feeling like the first day is always the nerves are there, right? It's anxiety, nervousness, excitement, right? It's a mix of all the things. So we're here, we've landed, you've made it. We can take a collective sigh. Deep breath in. That's the sigh to start. Now let's one more sigh just to make sure we graduate. Oh, that feels good. Yeah, look, you can even sigh for future events. 12 weeks from now, you're going to be like, I remember something striking a memory in me.
Right?
Yeah. So welcome. We're so grateful
Yes.
for your presence and your trust in us. And we're super excited too. Were you guys very excited for today?
I don't know I'm always excited, but somehow today I'm like extra. Like
Yeah.
I just feel so good about, I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's like
Yay.
June,
to do
it's
this.
gonna be 80s. I mean, what a great fun summer project. You know what I mean? Like I've had some really not fun summer projects.
I'm in the middle of
This
it.
this is gonna be a fun summer project.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to look forward to having fun and learning a lot. And yeah, so again, we'll start this morning. Let me just give you a quick overview of the whole day, okay? We're gonna do a little get to know you. Then we'll do an activity where you meet your mentors. By the way, your mentors are right here. But you're going to get paired up into mentor groups. And then we will do a practice. Well, actually, no, then it's like admin stuff. It's kind of Kristen's gonna pull the map out. And y'all are gonna have your compasses and timepieces. No. But it's gonna be, looking at the next 12 weeks. Like, how does this all work? How does it all fit together? Then there's going to be a practice today. And that's going to be the only time you actually practice a faculty-led class. So for here on out, in terms of in-teacher training, after today, you'll all just be teaching each other. So that's kind of cool. And it starts today because after that class, you have your first posture clinic. And so you will start teaching today.
Like the time, like, it's like, yeah.
It's enough to,
Your toes wet.
yeah, it's enough to make you realize that it is a whole project, like getting the muscle in your brain developed to learn how to not just be a yoga student, right? We have many people come in like, I've been practicing 20 years, and then to make that transition, sometimes it's even harder the more expectation you have around what teaching is going to be like. So we can all just shake the Etch a Sketch clear, start with beginner mindsets, because we're all beginners. We want you to start at ground zero today. So no expectation. Nobody has to be good. Nobody's going to be bad. It's going to be what it is. And that will be great. Yeah. So let's do an icebreaker. Go around, say our names. And do we have any, what's a fun, oh, so say your name, your preferred pronouns, if you please. You don't have to mention that if you don't want to as well. Say a little bit about why you're here. You don't have to go into like your whole life story, but like we want to know like, what brought you here today, because this is a big deal, right? This is awesome. The fact that you're doing this for yourself and then for perhaps either your future students or even the people in your immediate life. It's going to affect everything in your life, right? And then let's do a fun fact. I'm thinking for the fun fact, what was, there he is.
Hey.
Come on in. Okay, now we'll get started. Great to see you. You haven't missed much. Just that we already sighed into graduation. That's really it.
We can do one more once he sits down.
Yeah. Yeah, let's give you one more. Actually, we'll do a full-blown ohm before we do our check-in. Fun fact, I don't know. I'm gonna give you an option one. So either what's a summer project that you're proud of, that you accomplished, whether it was hard or easy in your life at any point, right? Or just your favorite flavor of ice cream, okay? So while you get to kind of sit on that, let's just take an ohm as we settle in. So welcome, deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's bring the hands to heart center. Just bring the forces of yourself together here. Take another breath in. Oh. Thank you. Always so nice to start with that. Okay, so speaking of starting, we'll let you go first. So who wants to be the first brave plunger?
Preview real quick, so name.
Name.
Want to share your pronouns?
Name, if you want to share your pronouns, please do. Why, a little bit about why you're here, and then the fun fact is either like a summer project you did one time that was kind of cool. It's got a story to it or whatever, you know. And then or your favorite ice cream flavor. Okay. So low stakes. Low stakes. No wrong answers, as long as it's just honest. That's all that matters. So we are going to get into the habit of passing the computer around as we share when we do like individual shares. So just get used to that. And it's, you know, you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to see myself on screen. And it's like, well, nobody's ever going to see this besides you all. Okay. This isn't being broadcast to, you know, well, I don't know what, but who would like to start? Yeah, okay. Let's say, don't make me pick somebody.
Hi, my name is Rebecca. I go by Reba often, and she, her pronouns. So I just quit my job, and I am kind of in between things, and I've been really wanting to do a yoga teacher training for a while now. And it was just like kind of fit with my schedule for once, and I've been wanting to do it in person. And so this was just like it fit really well, and the timing all lined up. And I'm just gonna go with favorite ice cream because I just can't think of any summer projects right now. And I'm gonna go with Rocky Road ice cream. So
Do you
Okay.
prefer Reba?
I do prefer
Okay.
Reba. Yeah. All right. Well, nice to meet you guys.
Well, quitting your job is.
Yeah, right.
That is a sir.
Indeed, indeed it is. Okay, so I
Yeah, well.
Pass it.
around.
yeah.
Hi, my name is Christina, she, her. As far as why now want to do this yoga teacher training, I've been doing yoga on and off for 15 years. Been dedicated to Cambio yoga for 10 years and have heard so much about the yoga teacher training and just
We never stop talking.
for 15 years I've been a bartender, and I'm finally ready to kind of just step out of the late nights, weekends, and do more of a healthy career. And my favorite ice cream flavor is Cherry Garcia.
I love that you mentioned like, because it's good for us to know, like, it doesn't matter if you've never been here before, but just let's hear about your history at Cambio too. So have you been here before, Reba?
Yeah, well, actually, I knew about it. I've always been a core power person, and then recently I came back and I was like wanting to find something else, and so I started coming here and to the Austin Bluffs one.
Nice.
I've been doing yoga probably 10-ish years,
Cool.
but yeah, always have heard about this place actually, just from word of mouth and just because it's a donation-based place. It's kind of always like one of those things people just mention. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, welcome. We're just curious. There's no like, you know, like we're like, oh, we like you better now.
This is our first time.
Yeah, yeah.
My first day.
Yeah.
in Cambio.
Does not
That's
matter.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, it does matter. Very much appreciate 10 years.
Yeah.
My name is Jacob. I'm or my pronouns he, him. I'm So I wanted to get deep in my practice, and also I wanted to I'm painfully shy, if you guys uh don't notice. So I kind of like to get over some of that a little bit. But I've been doing yoga off and on for probably about 10 years. I started here at Cambio probably back in December. So I think I take mostly Erica's yin classes on Monday nights, but um yeah. And my favorite ice cream comes from the Midwest, so probably nobody's heard of it. It's Blue Moon. So
Blue Moon?
yeah.
Their flavor or the company?
Flavor.
The flavor's
What
called
is
Blue
it?
Moon?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't thinking of.
So, yeah.
Okay,
Jacob, a lot of people come in and mention either shyness or like having a hard time speaking in front of people, and it's so, I just want to commend any of you who feel that way, because it's so, like, to do this is such a stepping into that stretch zone, so, and it is really helpful with that, and you're in a really supportive space, so, yeah, way to go. Some of us started.
Well.
All right.
Both of these do, thankfully, yeah.
Okay, I'm probably gonna forget what all I'm supposed to say, but
help.
I'm Lily. I've been practicing at Cambio for 5 years. I've lived in Colorado Springs for 5 years. I moved here from Florida, and I had a really hard time kind of finding my community when I moved here. I worked for a coffee shop called Holdfast, and a bunch of Cambio people came in one day and invited me to class, and been coming ever since. I'm a preschool teacher, so talking to adults is not my strong suit. So I'm doing this to deepen my practice, and I'm a hot girl, so I haven't done a vinyasa class in so long. So it's gonna make me do things that are good for my body, which I need to get better about. So yeah, my favorite ice cream flavor is banana pudding, and they don't have it out here, so it's also kind of.
Not know, I should
Yeah.
be regional.
Oh yeah, and I've actually written to Bluebell because I was like, where exactly do I have to go to get the banana pudding ice cream? Because I'm in Colorado. What do I have to do to get this?
We put something in it only Floridians can eat.
Yeah, wow.
Special banana.
There you go.
What's up? Yeah.
I've actually thought about that.
Hello everyone, I'm Joshua. Him and what was the,
What brings you to teacher training?
oh yeah, so I felt like it was one of the things I was meant to do. And yeah, it was definitely something that I felt like I had to do. It wasn't like much of a choice. And project, I would say finally making the decision to get myself together in the way that aligns with where I see myself in the future. So being sober. I've been sober I was sober like for like 6 months. Then Thanksgiving, I drank some wine, and then I was like, okay, I think we're good on that. So I've been sober since like a couple of days after Thanksgiving. And I have a goal that I was like, if I ever want to, drink again or, smoke weed again, I was like, I have to hit this goal first. It's probably going to take me about 10 years. So yeah, I've been sober since about Thanksgiving, and I would say that's my big project, which is still ongoing for a long time. So feels good.
Ice cream, you want to throw it in there?
Oh yeah, that's a caramel pecan. Yeah, caramel pecan. I need all I haven't touched ice cream in a while for a reason, because I'll eat a half a tub just so that's like once in a very long while.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacob. I am he, him pronouns, and what brings me to yoga teacher training is I've always been interested in Eastern philosophy, and I guess I'm mostly interested in like bhakti yoga, if anything. Just because the gods and goddesses are badass. And this is probably my fourth time at Cambio. I've been to Austin Bluffs once for the info session, and I don't go there because it's further away. And then it's funny, like the first time I thought you guys had a location in Austin, Texas, when I read Austin Bluffs, and I was like, oh, I'm not signing up for that. I got to make sure I don't sign up for class in Texas on accident. Anyways, I'm thinking of this summer project. I went and lived at my uncle's for a little while, and he has a small farm, and I went and helped him on the farm. I really love farming. And then my favorite ice cream is vanilla. I'm really boring.
Yeah. Is that what vanilla, or is it homemade vanilla that Uzo makes?
Hi. I'm Sal. I use they, them pronouns. I wanted to come to yoga teacher training because I want to teach yoga. And that's the short story. And then a project that I'm proud of is I spent a little bit of time in Montana one summer working on trails and learning to use a chainsaw. And ice cream. Trader Joe's doesn't have this anymore, but they used to have an oat milk taro boba ice cream, and it was amazing, and now they won't bring it back, and it makes me real sad. Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
exactly what they do.
No, that taro ice cream was so good. I'm trying to realize it was so
Follow-up question, Sal, did you do some of extended or?
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the Cambio connection. I grew up in the Springs, and I spent a little bit of time going to Cambio here and there, and then moved to Denver, moved to Fort Collins, or moved to Fort Collins, moved back to the Springs, moved to Denver, moved to Fort Collins, and moved back here. And then,
Which is the best?
well,
Don't ask.
they're all different. I really like Fort Collins a lot, but it was just time for me to leave. I wasn't really growing there, and Colorado Springs challenges me. And then so Cambio, I've been doing yoga for like a solid year. That's it. But like 4 to 7 times a week. I love it. And yeah, I've gone to like maybe 6 classes at Cambio since I moved back. So not a ton of Cambio.
Wow. And something else, you have great taste in music.
How do you know that?
We tried each other at the concert.
I completely forgot. Yeah. I was like, thank you, but that's like completely unfounded.
I wanted to go that so bad.
It was like one of the best shows I've ever
It
seen.
is so good.
It was
The most talented.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Hi, my name's Maggie, she, her pronouns. I'm here because I do like, similar, I like the history, I like the intention behind it. But I guess specifically why now? Yeah, I just wanted to take some time for myself, time to grow myself and maybe spend a little bit of time being selfish and taking some time back. But yeah, summer project. So I grew up in a very, very small town in the Midwest. We had a zoo that was unreasonably good, very small, but unreasonably good. But obviously being in a very small town, there's not a lot of people to help. And so my qualification was I had trained dogs for a long time, and they needed to work on a lot of the animals, especially the chimps, for non-invasive like veterinary checkups. And so I got to spend a summer training chimps and large lions and like large cats for non-invasive veterinary checkups. So that was super fun.
I bet you're the only one who can say that. I've done a little bit of training.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, no.
So there's gonna be some monkeying around this summer.
Okay.
Alright.
If I bring out the clicker, if I bring out a clicker and pineapple chunks, you know what's happening. And yeah, actually this is I'm one of those people where this is my first time at Cambio, actually. So I've done a lot of yoga over the years, but primarily it has been either just kind of stuff that I've put together, or it's just kind of been online or through apps or stuff like that. So very excited to, I don't know, get a little more integrated into a local yoga group. So
Community. I
There
mean,
we
that's
go.
one of the things that's so beautiful.
yeah,
I think about doing this.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
And ice cream flavor, probably like, if it's a fresh one, melon.
Mm.
So good.
You what?
Hey guys, I'm Ethan. I've been coming to Cambio on and off for several years now. I've been getting through a lot the past year and a half, and pretty much every time I feel like I'm really going through it, I get called back to yoga, and it helps me through those moments. Really wanted to get into the yoga teacher training because it's very far out of my comfort zone, and it's an opportunity to grow and learn, but then also able to deepen my practice, which seeing how it's got me through different phases of my life, it's like it's very necessary. It's been calling me for a while. And I am a peanut butter cup ice cream guy. It's my favorite.
With chocolate, so like peanut butter and chocolate, or just peanut?
No, like the peanut butter cup with like the peanut butter ice cream. Ooh, smash it.
Nice. I love that you mentioned that this is out of your comfort zone. I think that is, it seems obvious, but the truth is, I think we're all out of it, right? No training for teacher training. This is like, you just dive in, so thank you for saying that.
And we'll pass that this way and we'll let our friends online introduce themselves and then we'll do a quick hello too. So let's see, I'll just call it as I sees it. So we'll go Mackenzie, Lillian, and then Al, if that's okay.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. Starting yoga teacher training because I've been teaching at my school, Arizona State University, for the last 2 years. And I've been teaching restorative yoga classes there, which has just been super great. And I've loved connecting with community, but I was really looking forward to this opportunity to learn more and to be better able to teach when I go back to school in the fall. I've been doing yoga for about 4 years now, and I'm definitely a person that does restorative the most because I love that it's pretty much for everyone and just really relaxing. One of my favorite summer projects I've done is working at the Pikes Peak Library District. It's always super fun. They have so many events going on, and I love the summers where I just read so many books, and being at the library and being a part of community has always just been so fun. For ice cream, I'm also a peanut butter cup person. And as for Cambio, my best friend really likes Cambio. And so when I knew I was going to be home this summer and wanted to do my yoga teacher training, I started coming to Cambio and I really liked it. And I felt like it was going to be the right place for me to get my training because I have taught before. I really wanted to be in person and have that community aspect so that I could really grow and expand what I'm doing at school.
Nice. So are you gonna be, are you here this summer, Mackenzie, or are you online or are you gonna be in
Yes.
person? Okay,
I'll be in person after this first week. I'm on vacation right now. And then right at the end, I'll have to go back to school like in August. But for the most of the summer, I'll be there.
yay, okay. Where are you on vacation at right now?
I'm in Hawaii right now, so it's 5:28 here. If you hear some roosters, if you hear some weird exotic birds, that's me, you guys.
Vacation though, if you're
Very
not in
cool.
Hawaii, but here.
I'm on a
Well,
yoga
aloha.
retreat.
Yeah, total yoga retreat. Thanks, Mackenzie. Lillian?
Hi, my name's Lillian. I also go by Lotus. I use they, them pronouns. And I went to Cambio like 3 years ago one time because my sister's partner actually went to the same program. And then in my senior year at Manitou, my teacher also taught and got taught by Cambio. So when I went to college, I was like, okay, when I go back for the summer, I have to do this now because this is like I want that part of my life, part of that community again a little bit, especially because I'm coming back. And I don't have a specific project in mind, but I have a project that I want to do for this summer, which is painting and oil painting. And I've already set it out, so I'm really excited to do that, having like both a physical and then a creative aspect. So
Nice. Okay, so 3 questions.
mhm.
Do you like Lillian or Lotus better?
Lotus.
Okay. Second question. Who are the people you know who graduated our program?
Caleb Hall and Kyle Morgan.
You was friends with Rhiannon?
Oh, yeah. And then the third question is, are you gonna be online all summer? Or are you gonna be in person with us at all?
This week I'm going to be in person and then I come back Sunday next week.
Did you, oh, so this week you're online, next week you're back here?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, thanks, Lotus. And
Yeah.
last but not least, Al.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Hi, I'm Al. I use she, her, and they, them pronouns. Um, I'm really new to yoga. Like, I think I came to Cambio the first time, like the end of April. But I was in like a really dark place, and it just very quickly became a comfort and like safe place for me. And I really want to like deepen my practice and like potentially like help people feel as good when they come to a class as I do. Um, a summer project, I try to go home. My family's on the East Coast, so I try to like road trip home like once every summer. And that's really fun because I try to make different stops and it's just me and my dog. Ice cream, I'm a mint chocolate chip person. Don't hate me for it.
I'm surprised no one said it already. Usually. Yeah.
And Al, you're not here this morning because you're waiting for your landlord to do something with the breaker, but you might be
Yeah.
able to make it in later today.
Yes, hopefully I will be in a couple hours. I currently have 2 outlets in my entire apartment that are working. So yeah, wish me luck on that.
Luck wished. Luck wished. Thank you, everybody online. And I'm gonna, do you want to go this way?
By the way, who's not here today? Who we can expect to see? Are we?
No, everybody's here.
Oh, we're all, oh, okay.
Yeah,
My
9
brain.
and then 3.
Yeah, I
Do
got
you
it.
want to go first?
Sure. Are we doing the same?
Yeah, let's do the same thing.
I'm gonna be kind of trying not to blind you all with the windows. I wonder if I should close those. That's really blinding. Anyhow, hi. Do you want these closed so it's not as glary?
Let's see if this
If
helps.
that helps? We'll see. Yeah, that's good. We like that.
Just one or both?
Maybe both, just, yeah. I think that's, I just don't want them to have a migraine by the end of the day. It's a lot of screen time and
if you have glare. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. I know it makes it darker in here, but yeah, I'm Amber, she, her, and I am the co-founder of Cambio with this guy here, who's my brother. Sometimes it's confusing because we have the same last name. We're siblings. But our faces usually give that away too, if you look. So, teacher training director, and yeah, I want to just say I'm so grateful you're all here, and each one of you, like, thank you. Like, it's such a leap of faith to sign up for a teacher training program. You're investing time, money, but also even more than that, like your hopes, your connection, your relationship to yoga, what you want to get out of it. You're just kind of taking this leap of faith. And so when you take it with us, we really get that. And I want you to know we will honor that all summer long and beyond. And that we really recognize that. And we realize, I don't know, we kind of hold a sacred space in our hearts for that and for what you are doing by trusting us with this. So, so thank you. It really means the world, and we will do our best to be worthy of our responsibilities to you and to this program. Can I tell my current summer project?
Yeah.
So about a week ago, my extra bedroom ceiling collapsed. And it sounds big, but it's even bigger than you might think. And thank goodness this guy came over and helped. And but so my project is not so much about the ceiling and getting back in my house and getting my house clean and safe and all these things, but it's really a project of like several things, like a project of choosing gratitude, a project of choosing optimism, a project of, I mean, because these are our choices, right? And not getting like overwhelmed by details, just that's my project right now, is just being very conscious and aware of the mental and emotional choices I'm making. So that's me. And I'm not a big ice cream eater. Although,
Well, Dole Dippers, you could count Dole Dippers.
I really like Dole Dippers. Do you know what Dole Dippers are? It's stupid how much I like these. They're little pieces of banana that are frozen with a dark chocolate over them. And I have an addiction. I mean, it's a problem.
I've had those.
Like,
They're really good.
In Florida, and she's made millions of dollars.
I don't even like them. I mean, bananas are like, I don't even know what it is about them. It's like,
It's a thing.
it's a texture thing and yeah,
A
Dole
banana
Dippers.
stand? That sounds like
There's always money in
the
the
script.
banana
Yeah, always money in the banana stand, yeah. All right.
Is this son named George Michael? Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Austin, and Amber's brother, co-founder, one of the leads of the teacher training. I teach a few times a week. So come in and see us in class too, so, by the way. So you'll get a lot of exposure to us here, but it's always fun when, we get to take this journey with you in ways where we get that time outside of class to talk to you and kind of see how things are going. I was listening to, Spotify has like the random DJ thing, and I put it on, and the first song on there was David Bowie's Heroes. And I was like, that is kind of what teacher training is like. Like, so many people come to yoga because there's some kind of relief that they're seeking in their life, right? Very few people come to yoga or stick with yoga because everything is perfect, right? Because yoga takes work. And then you get to this level where you're like, well, I'm now moving beyond this realm of it just being about kind of a anonymous thing, right? Even if you never go on to teach, when you come into a teacher training, you tap yourself into a broader exposure to this resource that oftentimes I refer to as like the golden thread, right? The unbroken chain linking us to the past through all the teachers that have influenced us up here, and the teachers who influenced them, and the teachers who influenced them. It goes back thousands of years. And I just think that's really special and really magical. And the fact that you're crossing that threshold today is really special. It's really commendable. This is a big day. Summer project. I don't even know if this is a summer project. It's a project. For some reason, this is top of mind today, but like the house that we grew up in, once upon a time, my mom was like, paint the house. And we were like, cool, we'll paint the house. And then we realized like how many walls there are in the house.
Yeah.
And it was just like such a huge project. And it was such a pain in the butt. I mean, it's a 3,000 square foot house. It's not like a mansion or anything, but it's one of those houses that's just got a lot of walls, and we're not painters. And it was like, this isn't what we wanted to do with our summer. And so we would get the paint and like we'd meet, we'd come over to the mom's house and meet and be like, all right, 9 a.m., see you there. We get there. And the first thing, our mantra all summer became, I don't want to do this. I don't either. Okay, let's get started. So it was all this like, you see that now in like DBF therapy, like, opposite action kind of thing. I mentioned that because there's going to be times where like this is going to be, you're going to feel that way about this, believe it or not. Like, love to say this is all ice cream all summer, but it's not. There's hard work involved. There's a lot of like confronting the things you don't want to do. There's a lot of discomfort, even from day one sometimes. But I love what you said about like challenging yourself and allowing yourself permission and trust to move into the growth zone in your life. That's really what you're all really doing here in a way. Like, and the weird thing about yoga is that like we all may do the same practice. You're all going to do the same teacher training, but what you get out of it will all be individual based on what you need. It might be, being able to stand in your space and speak to a group of strangers without like feeling completely mortified, right? Or it might be who knows what, right? Who knows what it's going to be for you. That's the fun thing for us, is that we get to work through this 12 weeks with you in a way where it meets you where you're at. And that's what becomes inspiring about all this, right? That's what becomes kind of your, I want to say like meal ticket, right? Because there's always this conversation in yoga, like, well, do I deserve, I've been practicing 15 years, or I've only practiced once, right? Doesn't matter, right? The fact is that you come to it with an open heart, and you come to it with a sincere endeavor of just doing the thing, whatever the thing is. Some days it will be ice cream, though, don't get me wrong. And my favorite flavor ice cream, I'm gonna pick between mint chocolate chip and strawberry. That's my two favorite, and I mix them like a maniac. Oh yeah, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Do you keep them separate in the bowl, or do you like stir them
I
together?
put them right on top of each other, and I don't even care which one's on top.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that's horrifying. Hi, I'm Kristen, she, her, and what am I talking about? Why am I here? This is, so yoga is the thing that I have done the longest. I have like a collection of papers that say I could do a lot of different things, but this is the thing that's stuck the most and the longest, and it's the thing that feels the most right. So but I love teaching it, and there's only so much that I can convey in an hour-long class. So this is where I really get to like nerd out with you about all the yoga things. And it's just such a special, special time. And I love just watching like you sitting here like completely unsure of what's about to come over the next 12 weeks. And then at the end, like see who you've become through this. It's just such a cool privilege to get to do this with you. So, and I learned a ton along those 12 weeks as well. Summer project, I don't know. I feel like I'm always doing a freaking project.
You married a Boy Scout.
I married a Boy Scout, I swear to God. We have yet another project. We're re-landscaping our front yard, and we're building our 7-year-old son a pump track in the front yard, which is gonna be
The coolest thing ever.
yeah. Also, I'm gonna like just have a frequent flyer card for the ER because like this is just, yes, this is what we do. And favorite flavor ice cream, has to be non-dairy, or I will die.
Probably mint chip or fish food. Fish food is just like, I mean,
It's a Ben and Jerry's flavor.
it is.
Like fish, like the band.
Oh.
PH.
Yeah, but it does have little fudge fish in it. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, jeez. I was rumbling.
Let's
Sorry,
leave you
Rosanna.
there, and that way it's not too blinding. Awesome. Well, hi everybody. My name is Erica. I use they, them, and she, her pronouns. And yes, I just want to talk about being shy first and foremost, because I was sitting up here and I'm like, I'm not nervous. And I'm like, oh my God, how do you all talk? And I think, I don't know, for me, I did come out of my shell so much during teacher training. And also after that, looking back at how shy I still was after teacher training, even though I'd come out of my shell so much, it's like, oh my gosh, I was just really buried in there. And Cambio and teaching has just really given me like such an opportunity to give myself something to align with, that it's like, I realized in the last month, I think I feel like my most authentic self when I'm teaching yoga. And I hadn't even really realized that yet. And it's just been such a gift, because now that I feel like I can understand who I am a little bit more, I can take that out into the rest of the world too, and be friendly and welcoming to people on the street or in the store or wherever. And because I really like doing it here. So that's my biggest, most fun summer project. Was I did the intensive during the summer, and it was just so much fun. So I'm really, really excited for you all. I'm excited to get to be along on this journey and get to learn from you and connect with you. And you know, like my biggest thing is just like, you just have to do it. If you're scared, or if you're nervous, or if you're shy, like you just have to do it scared or nervous or shy, because I don't know, that's the only way I can do things. And ice cream, I got goosebumps listening to you all talk, because I'm like, it's too cold. I don't like ice cream because it's just cold. I like the idea of it. But if I do, I'll get cookie dough, and then I'll just pick out the chunks of cookie dough and not eat the rest of the ice cream.
You and Raven.
Wait, Erica, didn't you say you're gonna be in the extended teacher training?
So I coordinate the extended program. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're.
Yeah, Erica will be one of the lead teachers for this, but then she coordinates extended. Kristen coordinates this and is lead teacher for extended this. Yeah.
And you'll see all of us for extended stuff too. So we teach the same curriculum that we teach in intensive for extend. Well, wait, you won't see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it double up. Why don't you do both? We're the ones who do the double up.
We are.
Not them. Okay. Well, thanks. There's a lot of listening. So, you know, if your listening muscle is like getting stretched right now, it'll get stronger. But, you know, this is a big piece of the teacher training is the sharing, the being seen, the being heard. And honestly, the space of safety and respect, which you're all exhibiting so well already, but like, that's what this work really is built upon, the foundation of just kind of sharing the space with respect, with gratitude, and bringing your best self and trying to see the best in each other, right? So before we get into a little talk about what's going to help you succeed for this summer, we always like to do the test to see who could go around and say all the names.
No matter what faces.
Same. Well, let's try it. Let's just try. Okay. So let's just shout them out if you know them. All right. So I'm gonna hold this.
Online, some of me, I'm not sure who was who online, so I am gonna peek.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
okay.
get to see your lovely faces.
Okay. So who's this here? Does anybody remember?
Reba.
Reba, or Ariba, as Joshua said. No. Christina. Uh-huh.
I know my name.
Yeah, you don't get to answer this one. Lily.
Also Jacob.
Also Jacob. Sal.
Maggie.
There we go. He said it real quick. He did say it quick. It's,
Nathan?
yeah, you got it. You got it.
I'd be cheating.
And then who's online here? You probably can't see, but
Lotus.
Mackenzie, Lotus, and Al. Yes, and we'll get the pleasure of all working together in person this summer. That makes me so happy. So great. Back to this question now. What's going to help you succeed this summer? What? So I guess let me back that question up. Let me load that question a little bit. So does anybody know what the word Sangha means? Have you heard this word before? Sangha? A little bit? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Basically just community. It's like a special Sanskrit word for a group of people who come together for a common spiritual endeavor, right? Now, you may get 12 different things out of this, but there's this connective tissue that keeps you together. And when we're doing this work, what you put into it is what you get out of it, right? But it's not just what you put into it in terms of like the work that you do, but it's also the way that you treat each other, the way that you help each other. Our kind of credo here is that it's not about necessarily pass or fail or competition. Like we all want you to succeed, and we all want each other to help each other succeed here too. Okay. So what are some thoughts around, I don't know, things that you can bring to the table that will help make that happen? Yeah.
Confident.
Confidence. How do you bring confidence when you don't feel like you're confident?
Yeah. Positivity. just
Positivity helps.
Thinking of all, the positive, good things that this can bring.
Yeah. Have you heard the term fake it till you make it? Yeah.
Comfortable or trying
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, just fake it till you make it. What else? Patience. How is that going to help?
I think it's just that idea of being okay with where you're at so that you can move from there and being patient and letting that happen rather than thinking it needs to happen a certain way.
That is especially huge when it comes to teaching, because a lot of times people get really frustrated that they're not great right away. And in fact, nobody in here is going to be good at it for several weeks. You're not going to get good at it in some cases to like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, sometimes like 11 weeks, 0.9. Like right before the teach out, you're like, I got myself together. What else is going to help you succeed this summer?
I'd say humility. It kind of goes along with patience, knowing that you're in mistakes.
Yes.
And I'm kind of starting out with I don't know anything attitude.
Good.
Taking constructive criticism.
Yeah, hang on. I want to add on to this humility piece, because it really needs to be emphasized that this is a really safe space to make mistakes. But there's a difference between like doing your best and making mistakes versus making mistakes without caring. Does that make sense? Like not doing the work and making mistakes is a very different thing than showing up prepared, showing up having done your homework, showing up ready and willing, and then making the mistake. That's a really different thing.
Sorry.
Oh boy, just exploded. But will you always be at your best when you come? Other days you're going to be tired,
Well, the best changes.
and the best changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And may I add something to? Yeah. The thing is too, when you are doing your best and you get feedback, it just makes it easier because well, I've done my best and that's part of how I'm growing. But we recognize your best changes from day to day too. There are days where life blows up and your best is going to be different than a day where you've slept well and
Yeah.
had time
Does it surprise you that we say that there are gonna be days when you don't want to be here? No. Yeah, I mean, realistically, we just want to set the expectation realistic as possible. There's days where you're like, I don't want to go to teacher training. What do? You grab the paintbrush and you paint the wall anyway, right? Do you remember my metaphor? Okay, I thought that was gonna have a little bit more reaction, but I guess that's okay. I barely had to be there. You really had to be there.
I don't want to.
It was a lot of painting. Which there's a lot of diversity to this program. So like, I will say this too, like you may show up on a Sunday, there may be a workshop that you're like, I'm not that crazy about. It's only 2 hours. And then you move into something completely different, right? So not everything in teacher training might be your favorite flavor of ice cream. And then there's gonna be days where it is gonna be your favorite flavor of ice cream. But even those days where it's not your favorite flavor of ice cream, there's growth opportunities there, right? I would say that the big component here of what is happening as you become teacher trainings is there's this ancillary opportunity besides learning, but to also just grow and to heal your own self in ways that that maybe you don't even know you needed healing in the first place, right? What else? What other thoughts about how to? And what do I mean when I say success? Like, what's going to set you up for success? What do I even mean by success?
Getting out of this, what we are supposed to and want to get out of it.
Getting out of it what you're supposed to and what you want. Yeah. So what are you supposed to get out of it? Be able to teach class.
Whatever the universe brought us here for.
And then, yeah.
Individually.
Yep. Yeah.
I think part of it is just intention. So you're getting out of it what you need to get out of it to what you're saying. It's also like what you want to get out of it, and you'll get out of it what you put in.
Yep.
I hear that one at home.
Did you hear that at home, by the way? Iffy. Okay. Will you repeat it louder?
Sure.
Practice your yoga teacher voice.
Yeah. Intention. So part of kind of what, David? Ethan, why do I keep wanting to say David? Ethan, part of what Ethan, it's okay, I'll get it right. Part of what Ethan was saying was, you know, what the universe intends for you to get, but part of it is also, you know, what you want to get from the training. And so what you'll get from it is what you put in.
And there may be things that you get from it that you don't even know you need, right?
That's that universe stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's your actual lesson.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the real reason you're in teacher training. Yeah. So, you know, our job as facilitators is to support you, kind of be guide rails for you along the way. But you're really also, I really want to make the case that you are invested in each other's success, right? And I can't overstate that. Why do you think your own success is intrinsically connected to other people's success in this?
You're bringing it earlier. Community and
Community.
that meant like community and yeah.
Yeah, Sangha,
Yes.
Sangha. Lotus, please chime in.
Kind of bouncing off that of like community. If someone has like a weaker part and a person has a strength in that, we can help each other grow in the same aspects and lift each other up rather than just being like, oh, standardized testing, I can't ask anybody for help.
Correct. Yes, we're not standardized testing. Yeah. And when you teach what you're learning, do you think you learn it better?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the best way. That is the way you actually go to like the mastery level of synthesizing the stuff you're learning, is when you actually are teaching the thing you're learning, not just teaching yoga, but teaching how to teach yoga to other, I almost said cast members. Well, it's all your main character moment this summer. I mean, the nice thing is it's a small group, 12 people is actually, it's not so small that it's going to be like you know, struggling for energy, but it's not so big that we're gonna have to kind of, you know, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a good opportunity for you to just bring your energy and share your energy each and every time. So what kind of energy is appropriate in this educational space, and what kind of energy maybe do you have to, you know, if even energy is the right word, I don't know, behavior, thoughts, like what's, you know, what are you thinking about in terms of well, for instance, chakra nights, right? We're going to share a lot on chakra nights and talk a lot about thoughts and feelings and ideas. Where's the line? Does that make sense? Between sharing enough to be vulnerable, but not turning it into like therapy.
I think if we have the intention of that being curious, but also remembering, I guess, our boundaries between each other.
Mm-hmm.
And finding, it is like, it's a hard question to answer because it's.
I love where you're going with that.
Yeah, the boundaries are, and integrity for ourselves.
Yes.
So like remaining in that moment of like being curious, obviously, of who's around us, what we can do, but not, I guess, dumping or like putting that on a bunch of other people as well. So
Yeah.
finding that balance.
Yeah. Really well said. Really well said.
Energy exchange to where give the positive, but don't necessarily siphon any positive from other people to where it's turning them into a negative.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean,
Repeat some of that.
so being positive and also not kind of like siphoning other people's positivity.
Coming into where you're coming in a positive light with a more positive energy to where it's filling people up as opposed to coming in all negative and draining people from other positive energy as a therapy for yourself.
Right. And there's days where you're not going to be positive, and that's, by the way, okay. But you just, like you said with the word boundary, you have to find ways to contain that, to just be like, hey, I'm in a shit mood today, but I'm here. And that's enough, right? That's enough. I think what you were talking about, this integrity, I think an easy way to just kind of refer to it collectively, both for yourself and for others, is this idea of respect, having respect for one another. What does it mean to have respect in this context, in this environment?
Don't be overbearing
Don't be overbearing.
with the, what is it, meticulous details of everything that's going on in your life. You can be broad with some things and
Yeah. Or even like, you know, maybe you really know it all, right? And every question the teacher's asking, you're like, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it, right? Like, what's that thing called when you bring other people in to the experience? It starts with inclusivity and then ends with an E, inclusivity. Inclusivity, yes, that sounds like, as a yoga teacher, we want to be inclusive, right? And that requires like a lot of self-awareness and a lot of like 10,000 foot perspective, like viewing the group. Now, you're not responsible for other people per se, but there's a big space in between being, you know, kind and generous as well within all of that.
Yeah, and I would say, like, if you know yourself, if you're in some ways, like, if no one else is participating or answering, thank goodness if you're the one who always is
Yeah.
helping us out.
Yes.
But also if you feel like I'm doing it most of the time, but there's other people who would like to share. And at the same time, it's also the responsibility, if you're quieter, to sometimes be like your voice is a gift, so share it with us sometimes. Like, step out of wherever you are in that spectrum, kind of, you know, if we kind of all give and take a little bit, it winds up being a really great conversation and everyone feels involved and heard, so.
And to feel that, to find that, we need to collaborate on creating safe space together. So the question is what do you need for this to be safe space? And I'm gonna start first thing off is that it's like Vegas, right? What's the thing? What happens in teacher training stays in teacher training, okay? So that's first and foremost thing. Like, this is a confidential space. But what else do you need specifically to feel like that this is a safe space for you to be able to make those mistakes? Yeah.
When I think of respect, I think of my mom and what she's told me growing up is to treat others the way you want to be treated.
Treat others the way you want. Thank you. Good. Yes, let's define respect, what that means. Yeah. What about, so what about that? How do we want to be treated? With love, respect, open-mindedness,
I heard fair.
fair, yeah,
Compassion.
compassion,
Yeah.
Acceptance.
acceptance. This is a good start. This is a really good start. This conversation isn't finalized by any means. In fact, this conversation continues even the day after you graduate, right? Because it now then morphs into the way in which you comport the environment of your class, right? The way that how you practice that here, like you're on audition for your students right now, by the way. So that's an easy one for like some of you who are here dealing with some of the big stuff that gets you into your head or feeling anxious. A lot of times, sometimes it's easy to think like, oh gosh, I could never. And it's from I to being about your future students, right? That might be a way to relieve some of that pressure, to just know that like you're doing this for not just your future students, but also your future self, right? Being brave, taking that risk to stand up, to speak, to just show up day one. Let's talk about showing up, taking care of the space. So first thing, showing up, well, obviously sober, rested, as present as you can be. If you find that you're getting sleepy, you can stand up at any point, okay? So busted, but no, it's okay. But seriously, like we're gonna wake you up from now on, and then we're gonna have you stand up if you need the little just blood to your brain, okay? And drink some water, and that'll help. But
Or take a bathroom break, even if you don't need one. Sometimes just walking.
exactly.
Gets you.
You can eat food whenever you need to. You can drink water or whatever you need to, as long as, you know, obviously, again, no drugs and alcohol here. And take care of yourself, right? Well, so there's another question of this umbrella of what is it going to take for you to succeed over this summer? Like, how are you going to feel comfortable? How are you going to have fun? What do you need to take care of yourself for this, right? Lean on each other, use each other, get to know each other. Feel free to like be vulnerable, ask for help when you need to. But like know that as it usually goes in life, the person who's most responsible for helping you and can do the most for you is usually you, right? And a lot of times that has to do with prep and just making sure that it's a priority. So I would assume for the amount of energy, time, and money that this costs, this is a pretty big priority for you for this summer. But the project now is just making sure that that stays on top of the stack of all the other things that might come up this summer, right? Because our goal, again, is, you know, is to support you and kind of, you know, we're a bit of a guide rails. We're like, you know, when you take a kid bowling and the bumper rails come up and just keep you out of the gutter, right? Like you are doing the hard work for each other of all the like detailed stuff, all the like groundwork stuff. We're here to just kind of keep you out of the gutters, but we really want to see you succeed with this. So I will say that like, it's easy in week 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to change your mind and be like, this is hard. I'm not going to do this anymore, right? And to give up on this intention of why you decided to be here in the first place.
And a lot of times that's both your body and mind being so habitual doing other things that it's like, oh, let's just talk them out of this real quick.
Yeah.
Like it gets uncomfortable and it gets hard, and then it's like your body and your mind will work together to trick you
Yeah.
and be like, oh, it's not worth it, or it's too hard, or it's whatever. So when you do that, just do your best. Let someone know if you need support, please. But also, you know, kind of talk to your mind and your body. Have a little chat.
To succeed with this, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, right? That's clear, right? But also know that you're gonna develop a muscle for it. And it's gonna kick in. Sometimes that kicks in a week. Like some of you, you're gonna hear in about an hour, you're gonna go over everything that this whole summer is gonna look like. For some of you, that's gonna be very overwhelming. For some of you, you're gonna eat this for breakfast. You're gonna be like, I got my planner ready, I got my schedule, I got notes, I got colored highlighters for different things, right? So some of you are gonna be like, day one, you're gonna click into this sense of like, I see the project, I see myself going through this. For some of you, that overwhelm might last 2 weeks. It might turn into something completely different in 3 weeks. It might still be there at week 6, 7, 8. Promise you that nobody who's ever graduated teacher training thought to themselves, dang, I wish I didn't graduate teacher training. Do you know what I
I
mean?
wish I didn't stick with it.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have stuck with this.
And by the way, we've all been there. We've all had to, I did a program with Austin that went from 2019 into 2020. It was a 300-hour yoga philosophy program. And I mean, I swear he dragged me through the finish line. Like, cause 2020 hit and you know how that went. And it was just
Yeah.
like, blah, you know, and so we've been there too.
I've dragged many a teacher training
Well, we
through
all,
this
you know,
program as well. And by the way, I will drag you if you need it, but here's the thing, this is why we're having this conversation, because you know, you can make up a million excuses at any given point to just say, oh, I was wrong. Now is not the right time. Or no, you know what? Actually, this summer, I really want to get into racing my remote control car. Or I don't want to really, you know, but it's all bullshit. It's all really not wanting to deal with the thing that teacher training is bringing up for you.
Yeah.
You got to trust the higher piece of yourself that brought you here in the first place. It's going to feel very vulnerable at moments for some of you to get through some of those places, but it's either now or later or never. You can also choose to never grow in those ways. But what happens when you stop growing?
You die.
You die. Yes. As Baron Baptiste, one of my first yoga teachers, says, you're either growing or you're dying. You may think plateauing is a possibility, but it's not really true. Growth zone gets exhausting though. There's going to be like teacher training burnout. Again, you're going to all get to that point where you're like, I don't know, and carry on. I'm so exhausted. Lean on each other. Know that there's flex in the schedule, meaning that like your homework isn't going to look like I'm putting 5 hours in every week, putting 5 hours. There's going to be weeks where you're like, this is a 1 hour week, but then the next week it's like 6, 7 hour week, right? When we talk about our goal being to see you pass the finish line, listen carefully. Listen carefully. This is what this means. Teach out is what? August 24th. If all of your other work is not done by the 24th, are you listening? That is okay. What we really want to see you do is be able to teach out on that date. A lot of times people get it in their head, I've got to finish everything by this point. No, you don't. And in fact, many people don't because it's really hard. It's a tall order.
Well, and if you're a perfectionist, that's when you get to be like, oh, here's my perfectionism. If you're like, but it's got to be done this way by this date.
Yes.
Then you get to be like, oh, hey, hi, perfectionist. And it still may happen, but also just, I would just say relax or open into the possibility that, you know, you watch some videos after.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So I love, yeah, I mean, if you have expectations of how this is going to go, unclench the fist, right? It's all just come into this with open hands, open hearts. Like I said, shake an Etch-a-Sketch clear. Are you all too young to understand what the Etch-a-Sketch is? Do you have an Etch-a-Sketch? Right? Like that's the things like you would make like a drawing, and like sometimes we do that with things in life. We like make these designs, we architect this blueprint of how things are going to go. That's not how teacher training is going to go. I guarantee whatever you have in mind of how this is gonna go, shake it clear. We're all starting at zero. We're all starting with beginner mindset. This is a beautiful invitation to open the hood of your life mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, relationally, and tweak things. Is it gonna be the silver bullet that's gonna fix everything you've been working on, overcoming your whole life? No,
Do silver bullets fix things or kill werewolves?
they do that, yes.
Okay.
Is it gonna be the magical elixir that fixes everything? No, but again, growth, progress is still growth and progress, even when it's baby steps.
Killing the inner werewolves.
Yeah, yes. Put them in the crosshairs, get them. Okay. Anything else you want to add that I'm missing out here?
You get to do this. This is fun. This is a great way to spend your summer, and
It is a privilege.
remember that when it gets hard. Like, I get to do this. This is like learning for yourself, right? Like, I was a terrible college student. That's why I didn't finish, because I felt like I needed to be a certain way. And then this is just different. You get to do this for yourself.
I think in a similar vein, and kind of touching on something that Austin said about you're going to make sacrifices to be here, and you're always making sacrifices in one way or another, right? Because our time, our energy, our resources, they're all finite. So far you've been sacrificing, like you haven't done teacher training before because you've been doing other things, and now you're just rearranging a little bit. So really getting clear of how and where you're spending your energy, and just knowing that like it's 12 weeks right now, and it's just going to keep unfolding for a very, very, very long time. It's just like a flower that keeps blossoming every year, that you're like, oh, 5 years later, you look back and you're like, and this thing from teacher training is still like unfolding inside of me right now. So it really is a lifelong, you're putting in 12 weeks now for a lifelong reward.
That's why I said, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, because it truly is. If you decide to take this, what is the blue pill or the red pill? I don't know which one's the right one, but whatever pill this is, you're changed. The transformation is beginning by starting today. Okay. Last thing I want to ask is who in this group is really good at asking for help? Is anybody good? Okay, let me ask you this question.
Did anyone online say yes?
Who is going to be willing to ask for help when and where you need it this summer?
You're gonna have to tell me. I just know it about this.
Well, I can tell you this is,
But that's you asking, right there.
that is you asking.
You just did it.
The thing is we won't know when you're struggling if you don't tell us. So you have to communicate to us for us to know not only when you need help, but how you need help. Okay? But know that we're open books, and you're going to get your mentors. Those are going to be your main touchstone people, but we're all here for all of you, by the way.
Yeah, and one thing we like to say, like if it's, ask each other for help. Like, and even just little things, like how do you like figuring out ways if you're gonna go to Austin Bluffs or Pikes Peak, how are you figuring this out? Like, ask each other those things. Kristen, I will say, if Austin and I are your mentors, we're not your logistics people. We'll just be like, ask Kristen. She's the logistics goddess. So check with each other first, and because chances are one of you just didn't hear it because there's so much information, and someone else will know. That'll save her from 10 million questions if we can like siphon it down to 1 million for her. That's fantastic. And we'll talk more about mentor roles and stuff either, but I just like to give you kind of the get used to just in little ways being, instead of freaking out going, oh my gosh, I don't know what's due, being like, okay, I'm going to ask this person in my mentor group what's due. Someone can support me with this. Yeah.
Last bit of housekeeping before we move on is just that not only are you expected to take care of yourself and expected to take care of each other, you're also expected to take care of the space. So whenever you have a session, take it upon yourself to go above and beyond and leave the space 1% cleaner than the way you found it. Is that something you can all agree to? Give me a head nod if that's okay. All right, cool. Super easy. Just put stuff back. Trash overflowing. We can figure out how to take it back. As teacher trainees, you have now graduated to a little bit of a more, what I would say, esteemed, but also responsible role within the community. So we kind of think of all of our students as stewards, all of our teachers as stewards. Everybody's in this kind of like community of stewardship, but there's different levels of responsibilities within those roles. And we want to see you all being role models, right? How you take care of the space, how you comport yourself in the space, even when you're coming to class that's not, you know, how you're talking about each other when other people aren't around, right? We don't tolerate gossip. We really expect inclusivity. You know, not everybody here in this group is going to be your best friend, but everybody in this group deserves to be treated decently and kindly. Okay. So that's easy though. I feel like this group, you know, I don't need to harp on y'all about that. I've been harping, haven't I? I've been harping for a while. That's how I know I'm done. Ring. Kristen just rings the harp. Yeah, we need to get one. Or just a phone up. Okay. Any questions or any last thoughts on just, I mean, that's kind of the feelings of how this thing works, how the operation and the mechanics of this should go for you, right? Yeah. Again, it's an open-ended conversation. We'll continue. And if you're tired and once you stand up, if I see those eyes getting dreamy. Go on.
So here's the thing. I was just thinking about that. This happens to me a lot on day ones.
That's okay.
So-
It's okay to be tired, but
Sorry, I'm sorry.
but if I,
I mean, you're just taking in so much. That can go.
Is it being recorded? Is it being recorded? Okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
recorded.
is being recorded too. So anytime you nap, I will expect you to go back and watch that part.
Okay.
Okay? All right. But generally speaking, out of respect for the educational process, for the teachers who put the hard work into showing up with the curriculum to be here, for the students who show up, bring their best, we want you all to be, you can be tired, but we need you to be conscious. Okay. Okay, what's next? So if I see you dozing off, I'm gonna ask you to stand up. Okay, is that all right? Okay. It's better than the cold water in the face, right?
I
wouldn't
used
do
to
it.
teach fifth
I wouldn't
grade
do
and my
that to you.
students loved it. They'd pretend to go to sleep because they knew I'd squirt them with a water bottle, but they loved it. It was like a game. So they'd be like, shit, I'm like, shit. And it was like.
So they'll like fall asleep on the floor and I have to pick them up and then they're really mad because I woke them up and then they just dead body because they're mad.
Wow.
What do we do here? Like,
I'm all, Joshua, stand up, he's all, dead body. I know, right?
I'm not, I don't sleep easily, so I am a little jealous. Yeah,
I'm
like-
jealous too, and maybe that's why I pick them up like I do, is I'm like, fair? I don't get to sleep.
What's next for us, boss?
I'm not boss.
She's boss.
Hi, you want to know who your mentor groups are?
Yes, we don't.
You don't even
It's
know.
always a
It's
surprise
always
to
a
us.
surprise. So just real quick before I break you up into groups, we're gonna do a little activity called Qualities of a Yoga Teacher. And so you'll kind of get together in your mentor groups. Your mentor will let you know how we would like you to contact us, like what the format looks like with that. So just so you know, you'll be in touch with your mentor once a week. And then throughout the program, you'll have 3 times that you'll have a more formal half-hour mentor group meeting where you get to discuss pretty much anything that's come up for you, right? If you need some support or maybe material isn't making sense, things like that. And so we'll schedule those with you. And this is in the like program overview on Classroom, but what I always like to tell students to let their mentors know during that weekly check-in is like, what's what's working for you? What's going well that week? What's not going well that week? What's something that you're looking forward to in the coming week? And then just general questions that you have. So we'll talk about that when we get into the next section. Because like I said, those questions are there in the program overview for you. But let's get you all broken up. Since there's folks online, would you mind logging in?
Should I get my computer? How many computers do we need?
Well, I don't, let me see how many are online. Yeah. So.
And a break is coming. So what we'll do, we'll put
you're welcome to
groups
stay.
in and then we'll take a quick break and then we'll meet in our groups, okay? So just in like a minute or two.
I'm just putting in alternate names.
Can you tell that we have a lot invested in this? Like, we really care about this program. We really, really care. So,
Okay, so Amber's group, Christina, Ethan, Lotus, who's online, and Reba. And then my group, Sal. And so you're gonna have to help me out here. We've got two Jacobs, Jacob Bennett. Yes, awesome. Maggie and Mackenzie. And then Austin's group, this Jacob.
what's the last name? Denos. Okay.
And then who did that? No,
I
that's,
did that.
oh, that's the wrong one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can also go by Jake.
Oh,
I like.
Oh, no, it's fine.
you want Jacob? You're okay with Jake? Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Actually, you know what? For this summer, can you guys call me Jake Areno? Because I want to be part of the group.
Okay.
Jacob Roney? No.
We are gonna need one more.
Okay, so
Go.
Austin's group, Jacob, Lily,
Lily,
Joshua,
Lily,
and Al.
and Al. Okay.
You got it.
Nope.
You got it.
There we go.
Okay.
Cool.
So we'll kind of break up into our mentor groups. You'll discuss qualities of a yoga teacher. And so it's really just kind of like a brainstorm session where you get to talk about the qualities that you feel are important for a yoga teacher to possess, and to strive for. And then you'll present that to the group. So you can present it as a group, or you can nominate a spokesperson, however you want to do that. It's totally fine. And then when we.
There we go.
Thank you. I'm not gonna talk if I can hear that echo. Yeah, so.
Hang on.
Let me just find out the same time and I'll get it over with.
I do have my computer.
Oh, well.
Well,
Try to disconnect the audio. There we go.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay,
Got
thank you. It's such a weird thing. I can't,
Yeah, no, I
it
get
short
it.
circuits my brain. I cannot.
I don't know.
But yeah, we'll let you know, like, how we like to be contacted for the check-ins and all that good stuff. Get you our contact info. Yep. All right.
And how long will we have from now until we come back as a group?
Okay, so let's come back as a group. At 10:45 is 15-ish,
Yeah.
18 minutes good?
Yeah.
Take a little, and if you need a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm leaving a cushion.
So my group, we'll just meet right here. These two,
My group,
actually,
when you're ready, we'll just meet right over here, but bring if you have a cell phone, please grab it, because I'm gonna give you my number,
Yeah,
unless
same.
you wanna write it
get your cell phones.
Yeah.
down. And we'll just meet in a couple minutes if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take a quick bath.
And then my group will
Stretch
be
your leg.
right over
Everybody
here.
get up. Pump the blood.
Break.
Gonna try to.
Do you want me to get my computer? Are you staying? What are you doing?
Oh, that's a good point. I guess I could go now.
Well,
I'll stay and listen.
If you wanna stay.
Yeah. You can use mine if you want to. If you want to use yours, that's fine, but.
Did you have
You
to
don't
split
mind?
up everybody online? Perfect.
Good excuse to not do work.
No, I didn't do that on purpose.
I know you did.
It's just
Are
how
you
it
gonna break
happens.
us into groups?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know, because it looks like I did.
Oh, if you want to,
And
and
now
you
I
can.
don't want to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I found the
But I
next one.
can.
Really?
That Christina Mandico
Great.
was there with her mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and her mom was like, you should have
The
these.
friends
And
online, I'm gonna break up into
yeah, they should.
breakout rooms, so you'll get a little invite soon.
It was up north.
Cause
On
there's one in
Academy.
Colorado that looks fun.
Oh,
By
yeah?
Benny's, you and I drove by it, Austin, when we picked up my bike.
Ooh.
There's like a little funky thrift store, retro, something.
I might have been there
It's
in
just
March.
after the bridge.
I don't think I was there. But oh, thank you. Yeah.
Oh no, I just made everyone disappear.
No, I'm doing something.
Oh, okay, I was right when I
Oh.
touched the mouse and it just went boom.
No,
and
you did.
There was, I did do something,
Yeah.
Kristen.
I'm like there. You'll just have to turn on the audio, the volume and the mic.
Okay. You wanna sit with my group? Would you like to?
Sure, thanks. Good catch on the names.
Yeah. I saw that, I was like, I just changed that, what happened?
Oh, you have. Look if I'm hear them or otherwise it's not gonna stick.
Who's in my group? How do I know which, oh no. I don't know which Cambio yoga to put in the, I don't know who's, well, this is gonna be fun.
I think that the one right below me on the grid is Austin's.
Yeah, but when I go to like assign the breakout room,
Oh.
it just tells me Cambio yoga or Cambio yoga. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change my name and just make my life easier. How do I do that? Do I even know? Hey, how are you? Good. Will I see you tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, good. I
Will I
will
see
be
you
back.
tomorrow? Okay,
I will
cool.
be there.
Okay.
Oh, Lord, how do I change my name? Do we know how to do that?
You can press the ellipses, the 3 dots, and at the bottom of the selection it says
You're amazing.
most of my classes are on Zoom sometimes,
Right.
so I've gotten
You would think after like all these years of being on Zoom, I would have this figured out by now, but nope, I sure don't. All right, and then who goes into Austin's? L. And- Oh, it still says, please don't tell me I have to. I'm gonna cancel out of this and try it again because that's not
Do
gonna
you
work.
need, any support, Figure now? Is it not cooperating?
You know,
It's just zooming today.
life is just interesting right now. What is going, well, where is? Oh, there's Amber. Oh, but it's still Cambio. Oh, gosh. Amber, I'm gonna try to put you in. We're gonna see if that works. We might have to switch.
I'm walking right into you, off mute, sorry.
All right, I'm gonna open the rooms, friends, and I might have to redo it. We'll see how this goes. Amber, did you get an invite to join? I might have to put you in a different one. Are you in the, with the right?
Amber.
Oh, you joined Amber?
I'm
That's
loaded.
amazing. Yes, that's right. You are supposed to be. Yes.
Yeah, you are, okay.
Zoom rooms are one of those things where it either works immediately or you fight with it for like 3 minutes.
Right?
There's no.
Oh, but now I'm with Cambio Yoga and Cambio Yoga. Ah, dang it.
You said technically they're the same thing.
Okay, so all gonna share a little bit about this, what we learned. We don't need to share exhaustively, just like, I think it's nice if like at least one person from each group says one thing. It's kind of like their.
You're
sweet thing.
changing it up on us.
Well, it's a smaller group, so we can take luxuries. This is gonna be a luxury. So what group wants to go first? Our group, yeah.
So I said, be within yourself. As one of the good qualities of a teacher. And the way I explained it is, every teacher has their own style. And, step into that, don't try and, worry about how others are teaching and comparing yourself basically to other teachers. Because if someone comes to take your class, they're there to be taught by you, not who you're comparing yourself to. So it's important to be within yourself and step into that.
Okay, rest of my group, who would like to?
I said confidence and like positive energy, even when you don't feel like you want to come to class and teach, or even just be here. Kind of to touch on what you said, just being some more like intentional.
Nothing like starting a class with that. Thanks for coming out today, everybody. I don't want to be here. Let's get started. But I mean,
I've been in a class where that happened.
I don't even want to be here. Maybe leave that. piece
And
of
I
it.
traffic and
Yeah.
it happens.
It does
really-
happen.
Things happen, so.
All right, I put that, I like when teachers can, guide you through the movement step by step, even the little things. For example, feet hip width apart versus, feet together. And I also said that, bringing humor and not taking yourself too seriously in the class as a teacher is important too. And Austin said that we should not take ourselves seriously, but take the yoga seriously.
Not take ourselves too seriously. And then Al is driving here because they finally got their situation worked out at home. So if it's okay, Al, I don't know if it's safe for you to speak on the phone, or do you want me to speak for you?
Yeah, I just pulled in, so I'll be
Whoa!
in a second.
But I'm gonna open the back door for you, so you just come in the back door.
Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna. Do you want me to speak or come in first? I don't.
I was gonna say, speak on the camera while
Something that's important for me is like, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Like gentleness in your voice, like keeping your tone and like volume very soft. So like, because I feel like I can get really intense when I'm trying to get something across. So like keeping your voice gentle is really important.
Perfect, thank you. Back door is open for you, Al. I'm gonna keep an eye out for you.
Hi.
Let's go, group.
Is that your group?
That's my group.
And then there were two groups.
I can go. All right. So, almost similar to Al's idea was, I thought about being articulate, clear, and concise. So for me, I've been in a lot of classes where I can almost like barely understand what the person's saying, or just as you're doing the movements, you kind of get lost in how they're saying. So it's just finding that middle ground where you're able to articulate whatever you're saying in a way that is easily understood. And then what else did I say?
I think, are we picking one or two? What's their assignment?
Person.
Okay,
One per
cool.
person.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I had a
yeah,
picture.
sorry, I know, well, he kind of changed it on us.
I had so many.
I know, you had so many, and now you're like, that's not the one I would have picked. It was a good one, though, it's important.
I know,
don't even know which ones I said. I pretty much said like bringing your own knowledge and your educational component, your own experiences as well. It's really good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Coming in with the highest vibration possible, to where like not coming in hungover, not coming in. You're doing the things that's gonna be necessary to help you be in the best mood prior and prepping in that fashion.
Yeah. And then we have Lotus. I'm gonna kind of turn you around to the group at large. I know, hope I'm not making you all dizzy here, but try to get, I know you can't see everyone, but you can see some. Okay.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Not very well. Is this up all the way?
Hello.
You did if anyone can't hear it, because that's as loud as it's.
Let me know when I'm good to go.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. I kind of talked about being prepared and being flexible, making sure that your body and your brain are able to be present. And like that includes really basic stuff that like drinking water, making sure you're having enough food in your belly, sleep, stuff like that, because it does make a really big difference on what you're able to get out of a class and what you're able to give into a class.
Yeah. Yeah, group. Okay.
Ready, friends?
All right.
I guess I can start. I said like energy moderation for your class. So sometimes people will come in kind of different states and trying to kind of bring that to a homogeneous or cohesive like center so you can push through the class.
I was talking about inclusive language and sensitivity to the group and people's experiences. Just because you see someone, you can't assume all these things about them. And it's a lot of legit and fun ways to like lead a class without having to be you know, like very gendered or like really focused on everyone having the same abilities.
So I don't know if this makes sense. So so I said like openness, like being open to your students. You kind of qualify that a little bit, like being receptive to what they what kind of what they need.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Kenzie.
Yeah, I just said being adaptable and creative. There's a lot of times when you notice things going on, you need to see the energy in the room and just kind of shift things around or be able to change things as you need. And so just being able to adapt. And then the creativity piece kind of goes into that adaptability, but also finding, you know, even just Austin today, I was saying all like Etch-a-Sketch and things like that, finding ways to create that imagery for people of, you know, when you're pressing your feet into the mat, maybe you're a tree, rooting yourself, finding creative imagery and language to connect with people in class.
Kind of like put a bow on this thing. Obviously, this is just the beginning, right? Like the reason we start with this is because this is really what you're working on for the next 12 weeks is the quality of yourself that you're going to bring out through this medium of teaching yoga for other people. And did anybody say anything anybody disagreed with? That's the interesting thing about like teaching yoga and yoga kind of in general is that like it tends to simply by its own virtue and nature bring out the better end of our character, right? And so it's wonderful in that way. It's such a brilliant practice and science and art in that way that like, you know, you're starting today a whole other level of getting to bring out your best self, parts of yourself you may not even know exist, and shine those up, develop them, and then also get to see those things in other people that sometimes we have filters on for, right? So I think one of the beautiful things about yoga is that it teaches us to question some of the things we thought we knew. And sometimes we don't even know the things we think we know. Okay, that was confusing, but again, this is another one of those conversations that's not done. This is kind of now just gonna submerge into every conversation from here on out. It's really a conversation about quality of the yoga teacher in a sense. Same way it was about what is this gonna be leading to, what is it gonna take for you to lead to success with this? Because even when you graduate, that question remains, what's it gonna take for this class to be a success for my students, right? It just shifts. And that's the wonderful thing about this journey is that it's gonna be a series of just questions. That the answer never gets fully satisfied, but a good answer will lead you deeper into the question. It will help clarify and refine the question. A bad answer is one where you think you've satisfied it, right? Because these are the questions we're asking here are ones that lead you on kind of the journey inward, and there's no real destination with that. So, welcome, Al. Yay. All right, so that's that. We're gonna take do you want to take another quick break before you get into it?
Sure.
Okay, get up, stretch your leg, get your coffee.
Well,
5
and
minutes.
We're gonna say Austin and Erica and I think are you staying or heading out now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take our leave.
You'll see Austin Tuesday night. I think I see you in 2 weeks. It's gonna be a little while.
Yeah.
I'll miss you though. I really will.
Yeah, Tuesday night, by the way, we're at Austin Bluffs. Kristen's gonna go over all this. Pop quiz though. Tuesday night starts at what time?
6.
Correct. Question number 2 on this pop quiz. What time do you need to be there? I would say not 6, before 6. You need to be butt in seat at 6 o'clock because we have a lot to cover on Tuesday night and we really you being late is just you missing content and you paid for it. So be there, right? Yeah, okay. What a great first day. It's so nice to meet you all. I'm so excited for this trip and this journey around this season. What a fun summer it's gonna be. All right, we'll see you.
Yay. All right, so take like 5 minutes, get up, stretch, use the restroom again if you need to, whatever you need to do. Because I'm gonna be giving you a lot of brain information here in a few minutes, so cool.
Whoever pulled these, what's it, what is that?
No.
That is exquisite. And then I just set this one on top, all busted.
Yes.
Friends, I'm gonna stop the recording just to give this a little break. It's easier to upload it in smaller chunks, so just remind me to